But so I continue my little mini series on reflecting, refreshing, rebranding and relaunching your business, because nothing, and I mean nothing, is going to be the same again. And if you think it is, well, my friend, not only are you going to be in for a shock, you should belong in that group that still thinks the world is flat. Day 1267 in the Big Brother house. I'm so sorry. Day God knows what in lockdown. Is it 30? Is it 40? I don't know. But more skills that I've learned so far. To grow peppers from seeds again. I've read 4 more books. I've listened to another 3, which is down on last time. And how to pick up dog poo whilst looking cool. But I've also realised that the Baked Potato song by Matt Lucas is one of the coolest things ever. Go watch Brian May, him off of Queen, playing guitar on the Baked Potato song. But so I continue my little mini series on reflecting, refreshing, rebranding and relaunching your business, because nothing, and I mean nothing, is going to be the same again. And if you think it is, well, my friend, not only are you going to be in for a shock, you should belong in that group that still thinks the world is flat. Now, last time out I spoke about how to reflect on your business, and now we need to talk about how to refresh what's going on. And by the way, if you don't think this stuff works, you need to join my Facebook group, where one business has doubled their business in 4 weeks, and no, they don't sell toilet rolls or PPE, and the other has saved their business by making some quick, smart and very nimble decisions, which has put them in a massively strong position coming out of the other side of this. The links are in the show notes. Roll the sting! So I am going to make this as simple as possible, because there is nothing, and there's nothing worse than people making things far more complicated than they really need to be. See, at its simplest, refreshing your business is something that you, yes you, should be looking at least once a year, and a maximum of twice a year. There's not a lot of leeway in that, I get that, but you should still be doing it at least once a year. Now, if the current situation has taught you one thing, it's that things can change very quickly. And what you should also know is that you, my friend, can change just as quickly. You see, the best thing is that by learning to refresh your business every year, not only will you be more focused on what is going on in the real world outside of that bubble that you call your business, you'll also be able to react to changes in habits, styles, ways of doing things, and that means keeping the most important people on your payroll happy. That's right, the customer. So let's get refreshing. Now, I'm going to ask you, and I want you to ask yourself the 4 following questions. But here, and I mean here, is where the process gets its payoff. Is that you answer them honestly, and I mean brutally honest. Why? Well, I will tell you why. Because studies have shown that there are 2 types of business: the infinite business and the finite business. The ones that are successful in the long term and over a consistent period of time are the infinite businesses. The ones that are here today, that are gone tomorrow, they fall into trouble and disappear without trace, are what's known as the finite businesses. The finite businesses are the ones that feel they have to be in competition with someone or everybody or something, and always is chasing others. They are reacting to everybody else, and they deal with very much the short-term aspects of business. I'll give you classic example. It's not my story, by the way, but at one of the conferences, 70 to 80% of Microsoft executives spent 70 to 80% of their presentations telling everybody about how they were going to beat Apple. Now, at one of the Apple conferences, 100% of their executives spent 100% of the presentations talking about how they're going to help teachers and students be better. So, which one is worth more? Which one constantly seems to be ahead of the curve when it comes to their innovation and their market share? Yes, that's right, it's Apple, because they view themselves as an infinite business. Their only competition is themselves. Their weakest link is themselves. Their greatest threat is becoming a finite business. So this is why I need you to answer these simple 4 questions brutally honestly and keep a very fresh perspective of your business constantly. So here comes the question. Are you focused on your customers? Now, for this question, you get a few subsequent questions within this question. It's like those babushka dolls, but for questions and not for tasteless crap that's on your grandmother's mantelpiece. So here are the subsequent questions. Do you really understand what they want and what they will want in the future? When will they want it? Where and what do they expect from the product or service that you are delivering? When you're answering this first question, this first focus question, I need you to keep saying this in the forefront of your head. Your business is not about you. It starts with you. Everything, and I mean everything you do, should be customer focused and customer centric. If you don't do card payments, start doing it today. If you're not open on a Sunday and yet there's a demand and there is a need, open the damn doors on a Sunday. If you're not doing something that is kind of expected from a business like yours, get your ass into gear and do it. And the best bit, come here, come a little closer. I'm going to give you one of the best kept business secrets here. So come on, lean in, come on. Ready? Ready? Here goes. Are you ready? Are you ready? If your customers want something and nobody does it, go make it, build it, create it. There, you see? Sounds bloody obvious, doesn't it? And well, it kind of is. But that's the beauty of small businesses. You can be so nimble. You can think of something today and implement it tomorrow. And before you say, whoa, Mark, whoa, whoa, I haven't got the resources to do this or that or the other thing, shush, just shush. Because why is it that big corporate businesses with the resource of kings invariably are the least creative? Why do the big boys buy the smaller businesses to make them market leaders? It's actually because the vision of a smaller business is usually out of the owner's grasp. So they have to be creative in order to move forwards towards their vision or how they can help change their customers' lives. The vision for the big boys, although difficult, is very achievable, and therefore actually they're less creative. So are you doing everything your customer expects? And if not, go do something about it. And number 2, are you excellent at what you do? Now, being one of the crowd of potential suppliers is a crap place to be. Mediocrity is just as bad as poor performance. Customers choose the best person to meet their needs and never someone who is just one of the crowd. So there's obviously room for, well, just being better. See, 80% of businesses feel they need to get a qualification and stay there. They don't invest time, money and resource into being better, which makes no sense. See, if you want a better business, there is a really, really easy way to get there. Train yourself and your team better. By being better, you will instantly have a better business. It really is that simple. Yet most businesses do the bare minimum every single year and wonder why their business is not growing. The processes with most expert business is pretty much the same. We become very passionate about a particular topic. We study, we learn, but eventually we can't grow anymore just from study alone. So the great businesses, their owners then shift the focus onto helping others to what we are learning, which in turn helps them, which in turn helps us to continue to grow. Now, sometimes we put too much emphasis on pounds and pence and return on investment, but there is a true cost of coaches and business owners not learning more, and they are very visible at this very moment in the current climate. It's an inability to pivot your business, not being able to define your reason why, not being able to define and articulate your unique selling point, not reading the signs that you need to change, not actively listening to the people who truly matter in your business, your customers. They're unable to accept any accountability and end up doing what they've always done. And I will leave this question with yet another saying that you should think on whilst you are musing whether you are good at what you do. You may be on the right road, but if you stand still long enough, you'll get run over. Okay, number 3. Have I made my product or service platform better, or have I just left things as they are? When you look at most businesses, they all do the same as their competition. Perhaps they'll tell you different, but essentially they're the same. So look at your products and services and see if you can't break them down to make them better or different. You could be a printer All printers do the same thing. They print business cards, flyers, brochures, etc. But what if you did them on different quantity sizes compared to everybody else? What if there was a gold, silver or bronze version of the flyers that you print? What if there were different service level agreements for the turnaround times? How can you make your products and services different and better? Do what you've always done and you'll always get what you've always got. What is it with these sayings on this podcast? Now look, I know it's like I'm going back on what I said earlier about not really worrying about what the rest are doing. But being different from your competition is essential for business success. Always innovate, and there are better components or raw materials than you could use, or there's something different. Can you modify what you've already delivered to draw in different customers? If you can't do this, your competitors will provide solutions to your customers' problems, or do you just sell a product or service? Now, every business that was ever created is a problem solver. Fact, and this is number 4, by the way. So, want to buy all your food in one place? Well, you kind of go to the supermarket. If you want to buy fresh bread, well, we kind of gave you a bakery. If you want to get your car fixed, guess what? We gave you a garage. There is a problem and you solve it. That makes you, yes you, a problem solver. Successful businesses solve problems for their customers. So find out where their pain is and help them solve this with your help. So I need you to apply all of that carefully and systematically. If this means asking some difficult questions and receiving difficult answers, then great. But I'm not stopping here. No sirree. I want you to refresh everything. I mean, I want it a bit like a spring clean of your house, your marketing, your cash flow, your plans, your goals, the whole shebang. And lastly, but not very leastly, perhaps the most important thing of the lot, if you stop and think about it, is you and your mindset. Are you a finite business or an infinite business? What were you and what do you want to be? If the answer to those questions have changed your perspective on what you are, who you are, and how you can be helping people, well, go back to the start and start all over again. And that is it for this podcast. If you liked or were even mildly amused at what I've said, throw us some love and some likes, and maybe, just maybe subscribe to this outrageous drivel that's been studied, watched, acted upon, and is working right now. Or if not, well, think of me next time that you are stuck for an idea or 3 to help your business go forward. I have been Marc Ford, not disappearing since the start of the great COVID-19 pandemic of 2020. I have been your best kept business secret, and I will see you on the other side.